So I'd like to tell the story of how our family band got started. And it really is an amazing story because it wasn't my idea and it definitely wasn't Kevin's idea. We were simply walking in the plan that God had for our family. I'm reminded of what Paul said in Ephesians 2, verse 10. For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God has prepared in advance for us to do. When I was growing up, I loved music, I loved to sing, and I learned how to play the piano by ear. So when we had children, I wanted our kids to learn how to do music the right way. So when Caitlin was 6.5 years old, we started her in piano lessons. And it was such a joy to just hear her play and watch her grow in that God-given talent. And as the little ones came along, it was Jacob who would pick up the youth guitar that we had sitting in the corner, and he would just strum away all the time, every day, and sing at the top of his lungs. And I turned to Kevin and I said, we have to get this child guitar lessons. So I looked around and tried to find a good teacher, and months went by. And finally, our piano teacher gave me the name of a website that listed music teacher profiles. And so I wrote down about 3 or 4 numbers, called them all, and one older lady from Louisiana called me. She had been displaced by hurricanes Rita and Katrina, and she was living in our area. And I knew that we had found the right person when she said, that's perfect. I specialize in putting family bands together. So we scheduled our first lesson. And when she walked in our door, she was pulling a cart behind her. And not only did she have a guitar, she had a bass guitar, a mandolin, a banjo, a violin. And she put an instrument in each one of our hands and taught us how to strum along. And the very first song we learned was, How Great Is Our God. When she left that day, I turned to Kevin and I said, I called for guitar lessons. I don't even like the banjo, and I know I don't like the mandolin. And with wisdom that God had given him, he said, just go with the flow and see what God is going to do. So that's what we did. And the rest is history. So I always say, if God could do this in us, what can he do for you? What good works has he prepared for you to do?
After that first lesson, practicing our instruments soon became our daily routine. In fact, Mom would write it on our chore list to practice 10 minutes per instrument, which amounted to 30 minutes to an hour of practice each day. She even bought these little timers for us to make sure we were getting our practice time in. I was so happy when that timer rang at the end. 3 months after that first lesson, we played and sang our first song together at the Thanksgiving service at our church. After that, we were hooked. We found that we loved making beautiful music together, and we still do.
Fast forward a year later, in December of 2015, we performed our first full Christmas concert at our church as a family. This was a huge milestone for us, and it was also around the same time that we came up with our family name, Hudson Harmony Band. The original plan was to do Hudson Family, but that name had already been taken. So, harmony has always been an important part of what we do as a family band. My mom actually grew up in the Mennonite church, and on Wednesday nights, they would hold classes where church members could come and learn how to sing harmony. Since harmony has been such a big part, we decided to put it in our name, Hudson Harmony Band. A couple years later, my dad was sitting in church one Sunday morning just doodling on a bulletin in the middle of a very boring sermon. And he came up with what is now our logo. The centerpiece of our logo is a nail, and this nail represents the sacrifice that Jesus paid on the cross. We want everything that we do as a family to reflect Jesus and what he did for us.
After the concert, our music teacher said that we need to start recording our songs. So during one of our lessons, he taught Mom how to record using the computer. It was Jacob's birthday, and Caitlin was making a cake when he said, "Is this for me?" And we said, "No, it's for Jacob." Then he said that it was his birthday too. So that was the first day we recorded our songs. I was only 3 at the time, and I wanted to sing a song all by myself. So Mom let me sing a song in the CD, and I sang, "I saw 3 ships." And at that time I couldn't pronounce my R's, so it sounded more like, "I saw 3 ships come sailing in." Our first CD came out not long after my 4th birthday, and we are currently working on CD number 7.
I'm going to tell you what God is doing in our online ministry. Recently, we put our CDs online so you can listen to them on Apple Music, Spotify, or your music platform of choice. We also have a YouTube channel where we're almost at 3,000 subscribers, so go help us out and hit that subscribe button. We have over 350,000 views on our most viewed video and over 500,000 views channel-wide. Most importantly though, we have viewers in over 100 different countries, which means people all over the world are hearing the gospel through our music. God has been so good to us, and all glory goes to Him.